Hey friends, welcome back to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm your host, Laura Ferry. Today's episode is personal, and let's be real, aren't they all? We're diving into a phrase I've been holding a little close lately, leaf it. It's a little punny, sure, but it holds a whole lot of wisdom because sometimes the most powerful decision you can make is to not do the thing. We live in a world that shouts, do more, fix it, push through, especially if you're a woman, a leader, or a healer. But what if you're not lazy? What if you're just stuck? What if procrastination isn't a flaw, it's a flag? In this episode, we're talking about the power of intentional inaction, the kind of boundaries that come from self-trust, the nervous system, wisdom that says, stop reacting to everything. And I'm sharing my own story. The moments where letting go of the bad stuff was the only way I could ever get up and do the good stuff. So if you've been spinning, over-functioning, second-guessing, or trying to earn your worth through doing, this one's for you. Let's talk about how to leaf it and then do it from a place that actually feels good. So when you're ready, grab a cup of coffee and come get uncomfortable with me. Hey, welcome back. This is episode 68, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And we just actually surpassed the My Inner Struggle channel on YouTube, just surpassed 300,000 views last week, which was pretty cool because for the amount of people that are coming back week after week, they're actually getting something out of it and it's resonating with them and they're commenting and sharing and liking the episodes and the reels that come from that. And that feels really good. That's validating in a way that I know that I am making a difference. And my mission every day is to provide as much value as possible. So I feel that that is really fulfilling to me. And I'm really excited that I'm here. And please, if there's a topic that you would like covered or have a question about my own personal growth journey or something that may have resonated with you, shoot me a message. I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to be able to answer that for you. And if you are a woman, a mom, a business owner, or anything in between that would like to share your journey, and possibly be on an episode of the podcast, go to my website, myinnerstruggle.com, and click on the podcast and fill out that form. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so I want to share something about this whole leaf it thing, and it's really interesting. So this week, actually, on the blog at myinnerstruggle.com, it's been probably about a month since I've posted a blog because I'm doing so many things. I had one kind of written and sitting there and I wasn't really ready to share it yet. It wasn't fully developed yet. Gone through some, things that still sting sometimes, and just feeling a little angsty about certain parts of my life, I guess, or where I'm feeling stuck. And then it kind of all made sense. And so when we sit in that stillness for a little bit, it gives us an opportunity to kind of get to the next step. So I'm always talking about doing things in action, which I do and believe in and, go through with my clients and everything else in between. And it's not about not taking action. It's about learning when to slow down and be still so that we can get to the next step. So it sounds a little contradictory, but it really works hand in hand together. And this past weekend with the Self-Love Club, we did a little outing and we made intention candles. And I've talked about like my morning ritual before, but I'll say it again. I have this beautiful morning ritual that I do every single day. And it takes me through all of the different points of self-growth. And it's become this practice that I wake up in the morning and I feel excited to sit down and do. So one of those things is lighting a candle with intention every morning and pulling tarot cards and meditating. And sometimes it's stretching and movement or dance, reading and journaling as well. And looking at my vision board and saying my affirmations. And you're probably, what the fuck? That's a lot of stuff. And it is kind of a lot of stuff, but like once you get into this mode, it just all flows together beautifully and it takes less than an hour to do. And then I've been typically I'm doing my exercise later in the day, whether it's like a midday break or in the afternoon, because I'm training for something very exciting right now. So I realize how much I'm doing in my business and how much is moving forward in the right direction. And it feels really good. And I'm helping more people than I have ever helped in my whole life. And that feels really, really good because that is like my mission, right, in life. But I went to this intention candle making class this weekend with some members of the Self-Love Club. And it was really cool. I had a great time. And Kim, who helped us, we were at her shop in Washington, New Jersey called Belle Amie, if I'm saying that correctly. It's in Washington. And it's all on the Facebook page as well, on my Inner Struggle Facebook page, if you want to link up and see where we were or what we were doing. And I pulled like a charm out of this bowl that she had, and mine was a leaf. And she's like, yeah, just leaf it, let it go and do it. And I was thinking about this, and I've been thinking about it ever since. My mind has been reeling, and it's only been a few days really, but it made so much sense. I am doing so much right now. And I have been for the past few years. And this is like when I talk about that hustle and grind mode. And I'm in this sort of season right now where I've created all of the systems that I need. Well, not all of the systems that I need right now, and the processes and the things that I've been holding close to the vest. I think I'm finally ready to let go of and let someone else take the reins. Now that I have it, I've created what I wanted. It's really hard as a business owner sometimes to let go of something if you don't fully know exactly what you want it to look like. And you could handle that like a few different ways. You could kind of give that to someone and let them run with it and see what develops and if you like that or not. Or like if you're a little bit, smaller in size, I would say like my business, I like to kind of have that personal touch on it before I'm handing these things off, especially since I'm working with people so closely, their feelings, their emotions, their everything, their businesses, and then also like my individual clients with, everything that they're holding on to. And it's deeply, deeply personal. The more I have a hand in how that works, the better I feel. And I think the better it goes. So while I've been creating these processes for myself to sort of templatize so that I can use this for my clients as well. And so I've been in like create mode. And yesterday, no joke, I think I was in it for like 10 hours because I was just in the zone, and I could be because my kids went to their dad's house for dinner. So I didn't have to stop and figure all that out. So I was fortunate enough that I could just stay in that create mode, because when it's flowing, like it's really, really positive and good. And then I can rest when that state is kind of like over, essentially. But sometimes it is hard to shut off, I'll admit. But right now it's like I found this thing that works. So I want to get with it. I'm afraid that I'll lose it a little bit, and then I called it and I was like, okay, I think I did okay. I'm just going to keep moving on. I have created these systems and these processes so that I don't have to hand something off on a wish and a prayer and not get the results that I want, because that's really important. We're building something for a reason. Whatever your reason was for going into business, say, we'll go with that one, when that we were going into business, like what is that level of success, or why? What is your why? What is the reason that you did this for yourself? And mine was freedom. So many freedoms. Freedom to be able to do what I want throughout my day, freedom to not have to sit in the same four walls every day. I kind of have wanderlust. I like doing different things during my day. And I find that like even after I had left my full-time job, when I would be working with a client and I'm in the same space all day, I feel like closed in. I feel like a kid. Like I need to like wiggle. I need to not be at my desk all day. I need to be able to get up and move and go grab a coffee and come back and then get back into it, or work from somewhere else during the day, or go sit at the park and write, or whatever it is. And so I know that about myself. And now I get to do that every day. How cool is that? But it wasn't easy. It takes a long time to get to that space. And so when I pulled that charm and I'm talking to Kim and I'm thinking and reflecting back about what I've been doing, I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And how attracted I am to plants, let's say. I know that sounds so funny, but when we talk about that leaf it. We're letting it go. Leaves fall to the ground, right? We have these seasons, right, where we'll let things go and then let that kind of simmer for a little bit, and we sit in that space, and then we take that inaction. That stillness is where we kind of get to the next step. And a few years ago, when I was building my business and I was working with a coach, Jay Cardiello, he said to me, I was so upset because I was in this financial strain and I felt so desperate. I need clients. I don't know what to do. And this is shortly after I had sort of rebooted my business. I was in the worst financial position I've ever been in my life, all on my own. And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, how am I going to navigate this? How am I going to support these kids? And he's like, when I'm in that space where I've tried to launch something and it didn't really go as planned, we also can't be needing things from the universe. We have to be fulfilled with it. And obviously we need money to live because we just live in a space right now that it doesn't really work without that, right? And things are expensive. Mortgage is expensive, taxes, groceries, the fuck, and it just keeps getting higher and higher. And so of course we need money to live. But he said to me, he's like, in those quiet moments is where that growth happens. So I tend to go back to myself and go, okay, so now if I'm in this spot, what can I do better? How can I better myself? How can I make it more appealing? How can I not scrap it, but what can I learn from this and where am I going with this next? So it was really interesting. And I've reflected on those words that he said to me so many times over, right? Because you go to launch something and it doesn't take off. I've talked about that before. We've all been in that space where you put something for sale. I have a client right now that owns a retail shop and we did a social media campaign for merchandise to go on sale. And I said, did you get any sales from that? No, but that means that we just need to be more consistent. We can't just jump on there all of a sudden and expect that to be for everyone to purchase one or whatever. It takes more than that, right? And we need to be coming from a space that is clear, not desperate. And sometimes that's hard because we need money to function and live, obviously. And we can't really live without that, unfortunately. But when you can step back and get clear and take that space and trust in yourself, the universe, whatever you believe in, that it always works out. Somehow or another, it always just works out. Life has this funny way of just working itself out, and it might not be the way that you envisioned, and that's okay. But so when I picked that leaf and I'm talking to Kim and I'm like, okay, I think this is time. This is a message from the universe that it's time. I've created the systems, and literally she did a reading on me with cards, and I've created the systems. I have the tools. I know the process. It's time to let it go and fly and keep going. So seeing that message and then kind of coming home and thinking about that, meditating on it, it really made a big difference for me. So this week I'm going to take more strides and getting to that next step, getting more help and really growing. So I'm really, really excited for that. We have this tendency as women to be over functioning. There is no one else that holds more than we do. And I think it's partly because by nature, we are excellent multitaskers. Men aren't. Most men that I talk to will say no, I can't. What? There's too many things. And so our brains work so much differently, but we can hold all of these things together and we're just better multitaskers. That doesn't make us better or worse than men. It just means that our brains are different and we can handle more things at once. So yesterday was a great example of that for me. I was in it for 10 hours creating, but then, my oldest was like, can you come with me to this appointment? I don't want to go alone. So I grabbed my iPad. I'm sitting in the waiting room working on content creation. And then my son, same thing. And he's like, can you take me here? So I grabbed my iPad while I'm waiting for him. I'm on the iPad working on more content, and it kept flowing. But here I am just functioning through the day, kind of doing these things because, I have to get it done, obviously, and I'm just waiting there. So I am about maximizing my time and productivity. If I was feeling burnt out at the time or not creative, I would have just sat there and brought a book with me so that I could read or listen to music or something like that. But the whole point of leafing it, letting it go, and then stepping into action. I was talking with someone yesterday or a few days ago. And he texted me and he's saying, he was like, I'm self-sabotaging. I know I'm self-sabotaging. How do I get out of that? And his issue was kind of the same as mine. I was using busyness as a coping mechanism for a really long time. And this also ties into letting it go too. When I just wrote a blog and posted it the other day, and it was, a lot about love, I would say, right? So when I exited my last relationship, I dove into my business and I used busyness as a coping mechanism to move forward. Only the thing is that when you're not so busy anymore, those things can resurface, and they will resurface when you're finally still and can address them. And so for the last year and a half, I've been kind of focused on that, taking space, getting space for myself and taking time and really pouring into my own cup. But prior to that, using busyness, and I remember even like for years after my divorce and in between and all of that, getting up and just not being able to sit still in the house. And so that's something that I've been working on for a long time. And I'm happy to say, like, I've combated so many areas of that. But I'm also a mom and a business owner, and I'm supporting other businesses. So sometimes, quite frankly, I am just literally busy and I can't really help that fact. But I take time for myself every single day. So if you are in this cycle of doing and doing and doing and kind of feeling like your days are sort of like dragging you along and you can't really seem to get a grasp on anything, the best thing that you can do is stop, create some stillness, do something for yourself. And when I work with women entrepreneurs in the Growth Collective, which is inside the Self-Love Club. It's a special space for women entrepreneurs who are looking to find more balance, find themselves, improve themselves for their businesses, for their teams, for themselves, for the people that they love in their lives. Turning into this beautiful space, and I'm really excited about that. I just kind of launched it last week, and I'm already working with some women business owners that are really getting something out of it. And I'm so excited that they're in that space and willing to trust me when I say, just slow down. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to take some time for yourself. In fact, it's necessary in order for your business to grow, for your own personal growth, to celebrate some stillness, celebrate yourself, and pour into yourself, because that's so important. You will stay stuck if you don't kind of nurture yourself and those relationships around you, but most of all, the relationship that you have with yourself, because who we are is how we lead in life, in business, and everything in between. Letting go without guilt is an interesting one. I think in the beginning, and I have mom guilt days all the time. Like I'm working, or I have, my youngest is the hardest on me, and as I've said it so many times before, she is like looking in a mirror often. And so when she says something to me, and sometimes I'm like, whoa, that was really profound. That was really interesting. But she is also the baby of the family. So she is also very needy. So she, when she's grown up, she's considerably younger than my other two children. And so, we all were catering to her when she was little. And so in that aspect, I think she craves a little bit more attention than everyone else. But she's also not afraid to speak up, which I really appreciate about her. And again, it's always like looking at a mirror and she'll go, "You're always working. It's just not fair." And I sit there and I go, is this true? How do I navigate this? Or is she just wanting to get her way? But mom guilt plays such a huge role in so much of us. And I don't know that it ever really goes away fully, right? When I take some time for myself to do something fun, like I'm planning this next adventure that I'm doing, which I will talk about. It's over a weekend. And so my youngest was like, "Well, I'm really going to miss you." And I'm like, "Well, you would be at your dad's house anyway. So it's not really like I'm, like you would have been here, and that I'll be, that it's like cutting into our time, I guess I should say." And I was really starting to think about that. And I was like, every time I go do something, I have this little twinge of like mom guilt, or that I should be doing it with them. But I have to roll it back and remind myself, this is important. all of these things that I'm doing make me a better mom and make me a better person. And they will appreciate that more about me. I don't know. We have this like great relationship and now it's better than it's ever been. And I love spending time with them and they're excited to spend time with me too. And they enjoy going out and trying new things and checking things out. And I love that. I am having the time of my life right now. And nothing is perfect. The house is a mess, trying to navigate all of these things, but I'm just having the time of my life right now. And I think I can attribute some of that, most of that, to this level of personal growth that I've achieved and continue to nurture and move forward with. I want to talk a little bit about procrastination because there are some things like, so when I pulled that charm and I got that Leaf It charm and there are so many things in my life that are like, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I'm like, what am I letting go of? What else is there to let go of? And a lot of that can be control in certain ways or situations, I guess I should say, or what we thought something might look like, or that feeling of unworthiness, which so many of us carry around all the time and can be holding us back from feeling or being successful. If you don't believe that you deserve to be successful, you're not going to feel successful, or you're not going to, it's about appreciating where you are, but there's so many layers to it depending on your situation and where that all came from. So when you start asking yourself those questions, why, it becomes really interesting and very clear. So if you can just start taking, that friend of mine had texted me the other day, am I self-sabotaging? Like, why am I not at this level of success? Why am I, why did I do this to myself? Why do I feel like I can retire? Why, like all of these questions. And I'm like, you just have to start doing something for yourself because right now your level of unworthiness is like so high. It's not even funny. There is a balance. Like we want to give and be charitable. And that's important for our community, for us. When we give rather than receive, it's fulfilling. So that's kind of like a selfish reason, but we're helping other people. And that's really important. But when we're helping other people to our detriment, that's not healthy. We want to maintain our own sense of self and all of that. So when we procrastinate on things that we're not crazy about doing, a lot of times it's not laziness. It can be a lack of confidence. So the next time that you keep putting something off and you're not letting go of it and you're having trouble moving forward or taking action on it, think about, okay, break it down in your head. You're laying there in bed in the morning. Why can I not get out of bed in the morning? Break it down. Break it down into something productive that'll help you grow forward. Procrastination, often a confidence issue. So think about that. Next time you're putting something off, is it because I don't know exactly how I want to handle this or how to do it physically? If I'm trying to fix something or start something new, you keep, like if you've been considering starting a business or trying a side gig or something like that, but you keep putting it off and putting it off. Is it a confidence issue? What is it? Do you feel like you're worthy of having something of your own or not? I want you to think about all those things. Journal it out and shoot me a message. I actually have to cut this a little bit short because I need to go pick up children. I'm so happy that you were with me today. I'm happy that you're getting something out of this. If you can, please share it with a friend if you think that they might benefit, and like it and subscribe wherever you are watching or listening. If you are a woman, please go to lauraferry.com and check out the Self-Love Club. If you are ready to navigate some change in your life, build confidence through community and connection, we'd love to have you. There is also a new special spot in the Self-Love Club for women entrepreneurs. I am calling it the Growth Collective. So let's grow together. This is not a networking group, This is about building support, relationships, and community with other women business owners that are in your shoes so they know exactly how it feels. It's about creating connection and not doing it alone anymore. I'm so happy that you joined me today. Please go to lauraferry.com and check it out. If you can, take a breath. Actually, not if you can. Take a breath for yourself today. Take a breath, take a walk, meditate, do something that you love. Go sit out in your garden. Go sit on the beach. Do something for yourself today. And I want to hear about whatever it is. Send me a picture, shoot me a message. As always, I am thinking of you and sending you love, and I will see you soon.